Since X-Men Days of Future Past came out last weekend, I really wanted to do a review for this one because the movie was insane! Well, okay, I should probably point out that I adore the X-Men and the film series, so they'll probably always be enjoyable for me because they hold a special place in my heart. Yes, it's been brought to my attention that there are still some continuity issues in this film, although, you know what? Nothing is perfect, and in my humble opinion, they're not that big of a deal. So just hear me out. I'll try to be as objective as my fangirl heart will allow. So, Days of Future Past, like, I cannot even deal. I spent most of that movie crying my eyes out because of nostalgia or sad feels. I must have looked like a wreck. In terms of action, the fights were great, and we get to see a lot of teamwork, although mostly from the X-Men in the future. The teamwork scenes worked beautifully, and it was hella cool to see Blink throwing portals to help her teammates avoid Sentinels, and also to see Storm and Magneto work together to blow up the same nasty mutant hunting bastards. In the past, we're still treated to the same kind of action, even if our heroes aren't quite the same cohesive unit yet. The highlights, though, are the more humorous fight scenes, such as when Wolverine first meets the younger Hank McCoy. New character Quicksilver gets a fight scene that is both incredibly hysterical and cool, not to mention one of my favorite scenes. To be honest, Quicksilver actually ends up stealing the whole movie with his particularly charming brand of charisma and sass. Not to mention there's a fun little Easter egg in there in which Quicksilver finds out Magneto can manipulate metal and says, "Hey, my mom used to know a guy like that." Speaking of scene stealer, for those of you who, for reasons that I do not quite understand, were actually worried about this movie being another Wolverine-centered dive into the X-Men universe, worry no further. While Wolverine certainly does play a very key role, this movie is without a doubt focused on the returning ensemble cast from First Class. In fact, if you asked me to pick one character that this film was mostly centered on, I'd have to say it's young Mystique. After all, she's the reason the future turns out so devastating, and she is actually the center for most of the plot. Speaking of which, in terms of the plot, I found it to be very simple, which is a very good thing. Where the film really shines and focuses most of its energy is developing the younger characters. As a result, we get to see plenty of different sides of the X-Men, and when the performances take a turn for the darker, more dramatic scenes, it's a real thrill to watch. End result, did I love X-Men Days of Future Past? Hells yes! It was everything I'd hoped for and more, and I'd even go so far as to say that if you could only see a couple films this year, then X-Men Days of Future Past definitely needs to be on that list, because it certainly delivers. And it kinda serves as a major middle finger to Last Stand, which is a big bonus. I know I've been waiting for that to happen for a long time. Before I go, I'd also like to officially thank everybody for subscribing. Seriously, 100 plus subs just feels so unreal. I couldn't be more grateful for all the support you guys have shown me, so thank you. And as always, until next video, peace out, bitches!